Hey there, just a small disclaimer before we get started. Just wanted to point out that I am by no means a licensed plumber, but I simply wanted to show you an easy how-to fix for a running toilet. If you happen not to have ample tools or feel that your skill set is below average and you're not capable of performing a repair such as this, by all means, I recommend that you seek out a professional plumber. Okay, here's the suspect toilet. In this case, we feel like this toilet is running periodically. We're not 100% sure. I'm going to open it up and show you here, and you can also hear in this clip what sounds to be like water running in the background. And in this case, I have my suspicions about what it is, but I want to show you a way to, and you can see here that I'm adjusting the float, which is that ball valve on the right hooked up to the float on the left. And when I just barely tapped it with my hand, I was able to stop the water from flowing. And what I suspect the issue is, and how I'm going to prove it, I'll show you here in just a second, but what I suspect it is that flapper down in the bottom of the tank in this picture here. It's a rubber flapper that makes a seal, and I'm going to use food coloring like you would use for cooking, and simply take a drop or two, and in this case I'm electing to use blue. I'm just going to take a few drops of that after I've completely drained my tank, and in this clip here I'm showing you that I'm holding up the float mechanism so no more water will run into the tank or the reservoir where the water is held until you flush. And I'm letting the flapper raise up. I'm raising that up with the flushing handle to drain all of the water out. I'm now going to take my food coloring and put a few drops into the tank, and then I'm going to release the float valve and let that fill back up to the very top. This is a fast forward just showing the tank refilling, and you want to let this fill all the way up. And if you are able to, let this thing sit for a while after you've put the food coloring or the dye, if you actually have some of the dye to put in the tank, and then come back in a little while and monitor what's actually going on in the toilet bowl itself. And in this case I did a little bit of a time-lapse photo showing you that I can actually see the water in the toilet bowl is turning blue. That tells me that there's water leaking from the tank into the toilet bowl. At this point you'll want to locate your shutoff valve, which in this case is immediately below and to the left of the toilet tank, and you'll want to turn this off. Once you have that off, you're going to want to drain that water out of your tank, and you do this simply by flushing the toilet again and let all the water that's in the tank drain out. Basically what we're going to do is replace that little rubber flapper that makes a seal when the toilet or after the toilet has been flushed. You can see here how this one actually operates, and it looks a bit worn and discolored. So now I'm actually going to reach into the tank, and again you can see here how this flapper valve works. There's a little chain that hooks up to the flushing handle. You can actually unclip this from the flush mechanism or the flush handle, and then you can reach down into the tank on both sides of that flapper. There's just some small little ears, if you will, that you can disconnect from the stand and bring that out. Now you can see that better in this view here, and you can actually see a little bit of the bottom of the flapper here, and that gives me more proof that it was probably leaking, because it looks like it was actually seating improperly or crooked in the seat, so it was allowing water to escape. A quick trip to the hardware store. I picked up one of these universal fit flappers, about $5. Brought it back home, and I'm installing it in this toilet, and you can see how the new one looks, and the new one comes with a longer chain. So what I did is actually kept the old part, and I will measure the chain on the old one versus this new one, and I'm making a note of exactly how long it is, because in this case I'm not replacing the flush handle mechanism. I am, however, noting that this flush handle mechanism doesn't appear to be working properly, in that it lets the chain mechanism fall all the way back down into the tank. So what's probably going to happen is, if this toilet is not going to be replaced, which I suspect it will, so this is really a temporary fix, but if it wasn't going to be replaced, I would actually also replace the flush handle mechanism as well on this toilet. And you can see how this one's falling all the way back down into the tank. And what that would actually allow to happen is for the chain, and I'm going to trim off that extra chain because you don't want that getting hung up underneath the flapper and causing it to leak. But I'm actually going to trim that off. But in this case, you can see how that flush handle is all the way down. And you can see there how the chain might actually get caught under the lip of the flapper and cause it to leak. So we don't want that to happen. Here's a better shot of the old part, showing you what I was talking about, how it looks like it was seating improperly. I hope this video helps. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, or if you've got questions, let me know that too.